The only axolotl care guide you'll ever need. Avoid deadly mistakes and learn from a pro. Everything you need to know to raise healthy and happy axolotls in your own home. Written by George Feron. Narrated by Louise Porter. Introduction. There was a time when I thought a great deal about the axolotls. I went to see them in the aquarium at the Jardin des Plantes and stayed for hours watching them, observing their immobility, their faint movements. Now I am an axolotl. From Axolotl by Julio Cortázar. Axolotls are adorable animals, so it's common for someone with aquariums to walk into a fish store, see that cute little animal standing at the bottom of a tank, and impulsively take it home. Then you place it in a tropical aquarium. After a while, you start noticing that small fish are gone, and the axolotl is demonstrating a strange behavior, always hiding, frightened, or floating close to the water's surface. At another moment, you find out that your amphibian was eating the gravel you used as a substrate, and then the axolotl suddenly stopped eating and pooping. In the end, the animal died, and you swore never to keep one of these salamanders again, as they are sensitive aquatic animals. Unfortunately, this is something that most of us have gone through, either as uninformed hobbyists or even the more informed ones who decided to take home an animal they didn't know very well, believing that everything would work out. As strange and irresponsible as it may be, these mistakes are part of everyone's learning, which teaches us to do it right in the future. If this keeper had researched a little more, he would have known some main points in the maintenance of these animals, such as the fact that axolotls live in cold water, are predators, and that you should never use gravel as a substrate in their aquariums. With the growing popularity of these animals, through their representation in games and on various social media platforms, it seems to us to be super resistant and easy to care for animals, which do not need special care, so some people think. I will always remember my first axolotl. I was just a 14-year-old kid, always looking for strange animals to keep in my aquariums and terrariums. The first time I saw one of these salamanders, it was love at first sight. With a lot of effort, I set up an aquarium with a filter and everything else just for it. I asked the store owner how to keep them, and then I brought him home. That's when the problem started. At first, I didn't understand why that animal stood at the aquarium's bottom without moving. I thought something was wrong. But after seeing the animal feed properly, I imagined it was something specific to that individual. Then I noticed that in its poop, some pebbles of gravel came out. That's when I decided to remove all the substrate, which caused an ammonia spike in my aquarium. After all the work and numerous water changes, I managed to normalize the tank, and then came the summer. But unfortunately, it was such a hot German summer. So it began a saga of stress for my young axolotl, and also for me, its young owner. The freezer in my house was always full of frozen bottles and ice cubes. I spent minutes, hours, and days looking at the thermometer to try to control and stabilize the temperature of the water, always without success. I even resorted to putting the animal inside the fridge. It was then that a fungus attacked him and took his life. All this work and suffering made me extremely frustrated, and it took me several years to look into keeping another axolotl. But on the other hand, it made me exhaustively prepare myself through research, reading, and talking with keepers and breeders. This way, I managed to become a successful axolotl owner and breeder. To this day, I keep countless creatures from my first pair of these salamanders. They all live happily and well cared for, and I maintain that pride that only hobbyists know and understand. Shouldn't we all always walk this path of keeping animals responsibly? Every hobbyist should always research the animal, its behavior, and needs, and in addition, see if it fits their lifestyle and financial condition. Sometimes you've even given up on keeping axolotls. No matter how much you read and research, you can't make it happen right away. Well, there's a lot.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?